a man who has a broke arm into a match that they know they're not going to have the advantage in 5 minutes. Team Devil's Rejects will have the advantage 2-on-1.
I can only think of two possibilities. One, save the healthy guys for last. The Urban Assault Squad are the heavy hitters. They're the power on Team Anarchy. Send them in fresh. Second, hey, Azrael brought in a meat cleaver and a sword. Sean Tempers comes equipped with the Ace family tradition. He's got the cast.
The cast is true. But like I said, you said sending the freshmen. But my question for you is, will Ace Rockwell have enough left by the time the Urban Assault Squad get in? Because once the match beyond begins, that is when submit or surrender rules are in effect. Not until then. So Ace Rockwell could be facing a ton of punishment with that broke arm. However, I will agree with you. That cast is a weapon. And wait a minute.
Azrael not even waiting. He kicked the door to the cage into the face of the seven-figure deal. Ace Rockwell quickly going on the attack. The cage being locked by Anarchy officials. Now, the rules to WarGames state that the match cannot end until all 8 participants are in. In a little less than 5 minutes, the next man will enter. We know that man will be a member of the Devil's Rejects by virtue of Tank's victory over Nemesis 1 week ago. Right now, Ace Rockwell is trying to incapacitate the son of Satan so that he can keep some semblance of control even in that 2-on-1 environment. And right now, he's doing a pretty good job.
Well, you know, one thing that I've always said, Ace Rockwell, full of heart, full of vigor. He has been in the front lines in this war against the Rejects, and you have to know, this is the heart, the determination of Team Anarchy. I gotta hand it to Ace. I mean, as you see him going right to Azrael right there, I mean, I give him a ton of credit for having the heart. I just had to question the intelligence of sending an injured man in there so early into WarGames, because for the next 17 minutes, he is going to have to be in there with a broke arm.
Well, that arm has not been a hindrance to Ace Rockwell. If anything, he has used it as a strength. It is an inspiration that has kept him fired up. You were at the press conference just like I was. An eye for an eye, an arm for an arm. That is something that Anarchy has as a stated mission objective here tonight. Ace Rockwell has been on that front line. He has been there since day number 1. He has been fighting with all of his heart through concussions, through broken bones, through beatings that are absolutely ungodly. And right now, I mean, we saw this man in the Anarchy Rules match. This man's been in Texas Tornado matches. He has taken beatings and kept coming back. And all of that is after the broken arm.
And right now, Ace Rockwell looking down at the weapons brought into the ring by Azrael. But he needs to stay on him here because, like we said, submit or surrender does not take effect until all 8 men are in the ring. But you got to administer some punishment very quickly. Gonna send him into the cage.
Slingshot. And Azrael caught himself on the cage. He is no stranger to WarGames. That is one overwhelming thing that plays into the Rejects' favor. Once again, looking for the cage, ducks the clothesline. Rockwell caught, throwaway spine buster, and now a blatant choke. There are no rules in WarGames. No disqualification. Anything goes. Bring what you will, come as you are. Those are the terms of WarGames. And the match does not end until the match beyond begins. So right now, these two men have the biggest burden to bear for their respective teams. Azrael, far as we know, 100% healthy. Ace Rockwell, not so much, but he is making good use of the cast as we speak.
Well, I think just a couple minutes ago, Ace Rockwell may have made some contact with that cast on the head of Azrael. I can't tell, but I mean, because of the face paint, but does Azrael look like he may be lacerated?
Well, if he wasn't, he is now face first into the cage. Yeah, Azrael is busted open. The man has been bloodied. First blood to Team Anarchy.
Come on, Ace. Come on, Ace. Fight fire with fire, Ace. Don't ask the fans, just do it.
Ace Rockwell is a hero if he makes sure that this guy can't reproduce. Elbow to the back of the neck.
Fans, the repercussions have to be re-mentioned again. If the Devil's Rejects win this match, they get the keys to the Church of Southern Wrestling. Dan Wilson will emphatically be in ownership of NWA Anarchy, will be out of jobs. This building may no longer be standing. However, if Team Anarchy is able to prevail in this one, if they're able to get the submit or surrender from the Rejects, Dan Wilson will have to face Jerry Palmer for 5 minutes inside the cage.
Big drop kick by Ace Rockwell.
And that arm is already hurting. We're barely into this 5-minute period. I mean, it should be ending soon, but the arm is already hurting, and we haven't even had the advantage yet here in WarGames.
There are two things of note. WarGames has always been a case of tradition. It has always been a case of trends. One thing to keep in mind, 1991, Brian Pillman competed in WarGames and had an injured arm. He ultimately cost his team.
Hold on, let's say that. He's coming out for the Rejects.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Time to find out who the next Reject to enter will be. It's Sean Tempers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next participant, Sean Tempers.
And Ace Rockwell quickly going to work on the sleeper cell, Sean Tempers. As I was going to state, Brian Pillman cost his team WarGames that particular year, 1991. But the other thing, if that is one lot in the Rejects' favor, a lot in Anarchy's favor, the team that got the advantage has never won WarGames.
Well, the team with the advantage, you're absolutely right, never winning the WarGames match. But has there ever been a team assembled quite like the Devil's Rejects? Tank and Iceberg, they won this event last year at NWA Wildside's last event, Last Rites. Sean Tempers was in that match. Ace Rockwell as well was in that match, losing efforts. Slim J is the only member of Team Anarchy to have won a WarGames, and that was many injuries ago, and he had both eyes.
They've got Rockwell elevated and throw him full force like a lawn dart into the cage.
Now, fans, this advantage is only going to last 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a long time in the ring when you've got two men pounding your body into the cage and when you come in with a broken arm. The question next is, who will come out for Team Anarchy? You have to think Jerry Palmer has a sound strategy laid out for this match. He's out here to give encouragement to Ace Rockwell and the other members of Team Anarchy that will be out here. Well, right now, Ace Rockwell
Ace Rockwell is having the crap beat out of him, no two ways about it. Rockwell, too, I believe, has been busted open. He has. WarGames is the single most deadly match ever devised in the world of professional wrestling. As I said earlier, a match created to contain the four most deadly men in the sport in 1987, now in 2006, designed for the same purpose. And we are about to even the odds. Team Anarchy's second man will enter.
3, 2, 1.
And it's Slim J. And Slim J on the head with the door. Slim J on the top of the cage kicks Azrael away. That man is 15 feet in the air. Yeah! Come on, Slim J. Come on, baby. Clothesline. Slim J is covered in the blood of Azrael. And now is commencing to beat the crap out of the Rejects.
Slim J was a good 17 feet in the air. He was touching the ceiling of the NWA arena. And if the wrestling gods are smiling down on Team Anarchy tonight, it's a good damn time because Team Anarchy has just taken the advantage.
Now, Sean Tempers down and reeling. Big Enziguri. And now, Team Anarchy 2006 going to work. They've got Sean Tempers. And now Sean Tempers will taste the unforgiving steel. Pillar to post. He's bouncing off the cage like a ping pong ball.
And right now is a good time for Team Anarchy to get their bearings about them. They've got the Rejects down. Ace Rockwell